Hello, thanks for joining us today. We're going to be doing the workshop A from the positive approach to care with Tifa Snow. So we have a little video to start with, and then we're going to just debrief on it after. You want to sit with us?
What we're going to talk about now is the difference between normal aging and not normal aging. Now, understand, I did not say dementia. I just said normal aging, not normal aging, because one of our big misconceptions in this country is that if it's not normal aging, it's going to be dementia. That's not true. So we've got to get that one off the table. So what I'm going to do very quickly is give you two quick little role plays that are going to take you through normal versus not normal. So I'll do normal first. I'm in the living room. And I've been watching a TV program, and the program finishes, and I decide, you know what? I'm thirsty. I think I'm going to go make a pot of coffee. And I head toward the kitchen to make coffee. But before I get all the way in the kitchen, the telephone rings. And so I answer the telephone. Hello? Oh, hey, sweetheart. How have you been? Well, yes, of course I know who it is. It's, right on the tip of my tongue. Starts with B. Betty, of course it's Betty. Sorry. Recognized your voice right away, just couldn't think of your name. Yeah, senior moment. Huh? What? Oh, no, I'd love to get together. Oh, today? Okay, what? At 2 this afternoon? All right. Oh, at the mall. Okay, well, which end? Macy's. Oh, that's where J.C. Penney's was, right? They moved out and then I know what we're talking about. Absolutely. The menswear, is that the same? Yeah, yep. I know where to be. 2 o'clock, I'll be there. Wait right beside the door. I'll be waiting right beside the door. It's supposed to be a little chilly 7. Yeah. What? Oh, they opened a new chocolate store. Oh, well, you know me. You know what I'm gonna get. I'll get caramels. I always get caramels. You're gonna get. I know you like the white flaky stuff in the chocolate. Yes, coconut, of course. That's you. Huh? Oh, no, I'll be happy to call and see if Margaret wants to come. That'd be great. Yeah. All the vacation pictures? Oh, yeah, I'll bring them. Wait till you see yourself in that bathing suit. Oh, I was just kidding. Just teasing you. You know how I am. Such a teaser. Get fat. I'm not gonna say it, but you sure is getting fat. Okay. What? No, I didn't say anything. I was just talking to myself. Writing a note. All right, sweetheart. Well, I'll see you then. Love you. Okay. Bye-bye. What? Okay, hang on. Okay. I was in the living room. I was watching the TV. Program ended. They hadn't called. I've been able to work anything on this. Yeah. Okay. I was in the living room. I was sitting right here. Okay, the program ended, and I thought, oh, coffee. Why could I not think that? Lord knows I'm losing it. Now, all of you got dead silent. Because all of your brains are going, oh shit, I have this. Every single one of your brains is going, oh my God. And your brain is going, I don't think that's the definition. Normal. It's not normal. I think that's normal. Your brain is talking to itself. One side is going, no, he didn't say that was not normal. I think it was okay. That happens every single time. The room gets dead silent. Because if you just think old people are worried about this crap, no, we're all concerned. Because you're going, I think I've done that. I did that just yesterday. What you've totally forgot, because in that moment your brain was going, so I said that was normal. I was going to do normal first. So here's what I think I better do. Do this. Roll your shoulders. I think we better do it one more time. You need to let it go. Breathe out all the way because you guys are going. And by the end, your brain's going. Press on something. Especially when I had to come down and sit in the chair, you're going, oh my God. So.
Anything like this ever happened to you before? Once or twice. Why do you think it happens?
Multitasking.
We call it sidetrack.
Squirrel?
Give a pig a pancake.
Yeah, doing many things at once, having to not being able to concentrate on one thing at a time.
Or not caring enough to concentrate on what you've heard.
Yeah.
Or not really wanting to do the thing in the first place. It's
Did you
easy.
find it anxiety producing as well as maybe the people in the audience did? But also kind of funny?
Yeah.
A little bit? A little bit.
I was pretty sure that was normal because that's been happening to me since I was a teenager.
Okay.
Mom, what did you want?
So when our bodies get stressed, it releases cortisol, which is a stress hormone. And that actually does make it harder to use our rational parts of our brain and think clearly. So sometimes the best things for us to do to bring ourselves back into a parasympathetic state is to actually take deep breaths. And this is also a really good technique if you're going to be working with people with dementia. You're going to have to come out of your own fight or flight and relax a little bit to be able to think clearly. So everybody's going to just take 3 deep breaths right now too. There we are. All right.
I might need more coffee.
Okay, so here we go. Hand up. Human beings have 5 ways to take things from, do this, out there and get them in their brain. 5 ways to take data from the world around you and put it in here so you can use it. You can process it, you can understand it, you can appreciate it. So the number 1 way, notice how it's separated from all the others. It's special. Do this, be an artist. Visual data. Visual data is the most powerful incoming data. It is what human beings prefer, and it is what they want first in any way of collecting data. They want to see something first. It allows them to see it, and then they can start to think about what they want to do next. But what you see is the most powerful sensory input that you're going to get in your brain. But here's the interesting thing about vision. Show me what you see with. Point to what you see with. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Put your hand back here. This is where you process in your brain what you see. So brain activity in the occipital area, the back of your brain, is where you process visual input. There's a little bit of distance there, isn't there? What connects the input system to the processing system is wiring. And in dementia, all wiring goes on the fritz and then dies. Just so you know. So there's a lot of wiring here, and it's complicated wiring. It's actually fairly complicated because how many eyes do you have? 2. So you've got to take in data from 2 eyes, integrate those 2 pieces of data, process it, and then make sense of it. So all that's happening in the back of your brain. I'll show you in a few minutes. There's a huge amount of your brain devoted to visual processing. It's huge. There's also wiring between what you see and some other parts. Second way that you get data in your brain, take your index finger. Oh, look at how it points to things. What you hear, auditory incoming. Auditory data is the second most important way that human beings get data into their brain. Auditory. But if you hear a sound off to the side, what will you immediately do? Look, because this is primary. This just alerts you to go look and see what it is you want to see. So when it comes to dementia, visual then auditory. People with dementia pay more attention and are getting more value out of what they see than what they hear. This is secondary, this is primary. Guess what caregivers like to do a lot though? Do this. Y'all love to run your mouth. You think they're paying attention to what you're saying. What they're doing is watching you when you're saying it. And they're picking up on your visual cues, but they're missing the content cues. Because what happens is we think they're processing what we're giving them verbally, and what they're really processing is how we look visually and how we sound. but not necessarily the content. Because we're not on the same page, they're not getting this, they're getting this, we think they're getting this. This is not gonna match. Who has to change? We do, so we have to use less of this and start with this. And learn to use visual more than auditory. Third way you get data in, auditory, put your hands right here. Your temporal lobes. Both sides are involved, but they're very different. This side is very different than this side. How many ears do you have? 2. All forms of dementia, all forms attack the brain asymmetrically. It means it attacks one side of the brain more than the other. That's how it works. It hits one side and then it spreads more. So what happens in general, the left side of the brain is generally attacked sooner and faster and more devastatingly than the right side of the brain. We don't know exactly why, but most patterns of dementia attack, you're going to see more on the left than on the right. Left, right, language areas, but they're different. We'll come back to that in a little bit. Third way that you get data in your brain, take that middle finger, drop it down, and touch it to the back of your other hand. Now, this is actually complicated, and this is one of the most complicated, and it also takes up a lot of brain space. This is sensory motor. You feel something, you do something, you do something, you feel something. They're wired together so that when you feel something, if you like it, you do more of it. If you don't like it, you stop doing it. So when you feel something, you do something to change or encourage or facilitate what you're feeling. And if you don't like it, you don't do it anymore. Here's the biggest challenge of dementia care. Turn to the person next to you. And if you will come up this way. All right, now what we're going to do is eliminate vision and we're not going to talk. Okay, so we're taking away 2 of the ways that you would normally be able to get data into your brain, and I'm just going to use that third way. Go ahead and do that so you get the feel of what it feels like when you're doing this. So you can already tell where I'm going with this. This is not a good one to start with because most people are not fond of the idea of starting an interaction like this. And I do this particularly so you'll start to get the idea. No touching until you've done a visual verbal, and only then are you allowed to do the touch. You got to make sure they come together. So here's what we're going to do. You close your eyes. People with dementia, put your hands behind your back because I want you to feel incredibly vulnerable. That's what this disease does. It robs you of skills, so you suddenly are pretty vulnerable. And you thought you were confident. Okay, so caregivers, here's what you're going to do. You watch me and do to them what I do to my person. Yeah, y'all should have your eyes closed. There should be no peeking. Notice how many of you opened them up to see what I was up to. Yeah, they're sneaky like that. Okay, you ready? We're going to use these. Are you ready?
You open your eye.
I know.
Now, I'm going to pause you.
Okay. You guys kind of already did it a little bit, but do you want to take a chance too? You can be the person with dementia. Put your hands behind the back, close your eyes. Okay, and go ahead and just.
Don't go for those.
You have quite a familiarity with each other, so maybe it's not quite the same effect as a stranger doing it to you.
Plus, I saw what was gonna happen.
You saw what was gonna happen. So what happened for you? We're just
Well, I wasn't expecting it, and I was a little annoyed because I thought he could have come up with something a little more pleasant.
it was an unpleasant touch, right?
Yeah, it was an unpleasant touch, yes.
Yeah. And you didn't have your visual,
Had no visual.
auditory, no other ways, but you had the touch.
Mhm.
What did you find yourself wanting to do?
Whack 'em.
It's a pretty natural reaction. Just whack, yeah. Or you're also doing, I don't know if you know this.
Recoiling.
Yeah.
and-
Recoiling,
Yeah,
yeah,
recoiling.
yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, I wanted to speak, like, stop that.
Stop that, yeah.
It's annoying.
Yeah. Your eyes also flew open.
Yeah, I looked.
Yeah. And those are all natural reactions. It was almost like a fight, flight, or fright response. So how do you think a person with dementia, how does this translate for a person with dementia when we just go in with touch?
Especially if they know you're not a medical person,
No,
or they don't know you're a medical person. I think probably.
they're startled.
They're startled. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it's a natural reaction. And sometimes it actually isn't even so much about dementia, it's even about your own human reaction,
Mhm.
actually, more than anything else. It's a very natural reaction to have a fight,
Mhm.
flight, or
Yeah.
fright response,
Yeah.
right? Eyes fly open, fright. Yeah, it's very natural. Yeah, yeah. All right. Do you think that it's true, that we often like to do to than rather with people with dementia? Do you think that that's true? It's easier just to do to because of time constraints or not understanding the disease. It's just easier to let me just do that for you. Let me just do that for you,
Yeah.
rather than sometimes do with.
Yeah, I think that's natural, particularly with women. Yeah,
It's just easier.
Yeah.
Just let me just do that. Let me
Yeah.
help you.
yeah, no,
Right? Yeah.
no. You don't know how to cook, mommy knows how to cook, let me get it done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You found at some point who were being touched, your eyes flew open.
Mhm.
How many of you realize you had a really hard time not going, "Oh, wait a minute, hang on there."
Mhm.
Now, what I want you to do right now is touch yourself where we just touched you. Go ahead and touch yourself where we made the touches.
Anything different for
No
yourself?
No biggie.
No biggie. Yeah. Yeah. Why do you think it's like no biggie when you're doing it to yourself?
Because you know what you're going to do,
Yeah.
you're expecting it, and you, yeah, that you had the verbal, you had the visual, and it's, yeah, you're doing yourself, it's learned.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you've been doing this
Yeah.
for since you were
Mhm.
born. Your brain knows what your hand is doing. So it's actually your closed circuit, right?
Mhm.
But when someone's doing to you, it's an open circuit and your brain doesn't know what to expect. Yeah, yeah.
You can feel that feels different than when we touched you. Yeah, because if you are doing it yourself, you're actually sending and receiving, and it's a closed circuit. However, when we do to you, it's an open circuit, and for your brain, we eliminated the knowledge of where and when the touch was going to occur, and so your brain was going, oh, 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 oh. It was a hyper alerting, and let me tell you something that we don't think about touch: light moving touch. Light moving touch, cockroaches crawling on your skin,
Yeah.
clothes rubbing across, someone sneaking up. Light moving touch is an alerting, arousing touch. It's the hyper alert kind of thing. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. Because it says something's coming and you don't know what it is. And so what happens when we put our hands on people, even lightly, so you touch them lightly and say, wake up, sweetheart. Boom. Because it came out of nowhere. So what I'm going to do is have you try something a little different. And we'll really work on this skill this afternoon, but I want you to test drive the model and see if it makes a difference. Okay? I want you to shake hands with the person. Now, I want you to tell me for a second, what's the most common contact we have with other human beings when we're greeting them and interacting with them? Hand contact, right? So shake hands, and notice the next thing you're going to want to do is let go. Well, that's a bit of a problem, because I want to stay connected, because I want to keep the touch so that you'll know what I'm going to do. But the problem is when I lose skill and keep strength, and I like pressure, go ahead and do it. Ow, wait, Mom, let go, what are you doing? Okay, or if they feel like I'm trying to hold on to them, it makes them want to get away from me. Okay, so what we're going to do is as soon as we shake, where did I tell you found comfort? So what we're going to do, and I don't want to trap your fingers. I want to leave your fingers free. I want my fingers free, but I want to be connected to you. So what I'm going to do is slide like this. Do this. Open your fingers up, both of you. Open your fingers up. Make them go like this. You should feel like you've created a bird, a butterfly. You're connected, but you're free to move. Close them down. They can hold on to you. They can use strength. They might use skill. It's comforting because you got pressure down there at the palm. And here's the really cool part. Hold on to them with your strength fingers, and you still can use your skill fingers. How cool is that? And you turn it so you're underneath, which gives the sense of, I'm here to support you and help you, not to try to keep you from doing things. Okay?
All right. So let's just practice that really quick. So I'll come up and you're probably right-handed, right? Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay. Well, you're gonna start with a handshake. So start with a handshake. And then yeah, we go into the butterfly, and then you're gonna be my caregiver. So you go under. There you go. And now you can just fold it over. There you go. Fold it over. There we are. There. And then yeah, you can use those skill fingers. There. All right. Here you go. And then butterfly. And there we go. And then yeah. And then if you're my caregiver, you'd be under. So it's hand under hand.
Thing we learned at the hood, eh?
So you use both hands?
Well, you can use this hand to put over top of mine now, so that I feel nice and comfort. Yeah, the palm of your hand is actually a comfort area, so people often will really crave that comfort. And we actually find that a lot of people with dementia too, they grab onto things, onto their caregivers, they'll grab onto their nurses, they'll grab onto the pets, even the pet there, the therapy pets. And it's quite distressing because this is actually a very primitive reflex that they keep. And this, I mean, it's the same reflex that babies have, right? It's a primitive reflex, that grasp reflex. So it seems like they're being aggressive, but it's something that they still have. It's a routine skill. So yeah, so it actually provides a lot of comfort in that palm of the hand for people, and they can squeeze. They can squeeze as much as they want to try to get that comfort. But then you still have some skill fingers here, right here. So we'll kind of watch what Tipa does with her skill fingers so you kind of understand there.
Now, here's what we're going to do. You're going to lay your other hand on top of the back of their hand. You try this. Get them to, now this is an interesting phenomenon. The oldest sensory motor track in the human brain is eye-hand. It is the one that develops first. Put a baby, sit it up at 3 months. What will happen if you let go? Come on. Down it goes. It doesn't even have trunk control. Doesn't have head control. But if you lay it on its back so it doesn't have to do a whole lot of work, and you put the dangly crap down right in the middle range.
Dangly crap.
They're fascinated by it because they like to see it. And then they're just starting to learn how to do some of this stuff. So they're not very good at it. They don't have skill. They just have some strength. They're learning how, and they're learning to move against gravity. And so and you can watch it when they get it. It's like, look what I did. You can see it. I have control. And suddenly their excitement builds because they have the feeling that they control the world. So what we're going to do, that's the oldest, most primitive sensory motor system in the brain. It's the one that is going to prevail the longest through the end of this disease. It'll be the last one I lose. Eye hand. But I'll lose skill before I lose strength.
Okay. So